that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, when I went, it happened to be, I had a string of doctor's appointments that week, and this was Friday. And I said, I had a doctor's appointment on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and one today. All of those were fine. I don't like my doctor. I've never liked him. He's a young internist who is by the book, and he goes nothing but by the book. He is not at the point yet where he realizes we're all individual and our bodies all act different. And I've tried to explain it to him. And he just is so focused on just the numbers. And I'm like, no. And so,
if they don't treat me like the princess I am, I don't see them.
Okay, so we're live, I think.
Oh, just leave it. Just leave it. Pretend we never saw it. No.
yeah, go.
We'll watch the auto be working and not the video.
It's perfect. That, well,
Once we get to fight, and then they'll try to
so fine. I've been trying for over a year now to try and get the right, little YouTube clip and become a YouTube sensation on this thing, and it hadn't worked. Nobody's looking.
The engineering on the survey at the end, you have the engineering design. Are we putting that in, or are we not putting that in?
Oh, on the top, on the front page. Okay, I'll get rid of that. No, we're not putting that in. You guys told me no, and
okay, because you actually, and then you, well, I was gonna say if we were for some reason, then you actually have the PS 1 and 4 going.
No, is this the survey?
yeah, this is the survey that we're working.
So what about the engineering thing?
We're not putting.
We're not separating it.
Oh.
The decision of the group was because we have the science and engineering practices, and that you know as well as I do when the new standards came out, everybody taught inquiry, and then that was it. I taught you inquiry, we're done. Instead of infusing it throughout, so it's the belief of the group that if we put the engineering standards out separate, we're going to have a new case of here's your engineering unit. Now we're done. Don't worry about it anymore.
I think that would be
And
good.
so if we only show a document that has it all integrated.
So it's integrated. We're not ditching it, we're just confusing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want it in
Believe it
there.
or not, I'm going back to teaching scientific method all on its own. Because that's when our school just kicked butt on all the state tests. When we did that, when we started embedding it, is when we started dropping it.
One thing I was going to say is, even if we didn't list it separately, have it just incorporated, I think that would be something that would be good in our cover explanation of the standards to put that, to say that, so that people realize that they are there and what the intent
Yes.
is. I think that should be included in our cover.
Yeah, I don't want them to know
Yeah.
that we're not ditching that.
No, what we've pulled is the basis of NGSS, so it's still a three-dimensional learning. You have your practices, you have your core idea, and you have your cross-cutting content, which is the depth, achieves the depth, and we're not learning just isolated facts. So that's the reason why, which if everybody wants to put it back in, that's fine with me as well, I don't care.
I think it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that if we put a survey out, I don't want
I'll be honest with you.
confused.
Google Forms has this great thing, it's called make a duplicate. So I made a duplicate, and then I went through and edited it, so it saved me some typing.
Right.
Because the last one was
Good.
just a little bit of a pain in the rough. So that's how I made these. So that's why these need to be clean.
Right. And I haven't gone through the science or the high school yet at all.
Well, that's something we can do today.
Yeah, so we go through that, and then what's the other one I had on here? I was making all kinds of notes at home. I wanted to ask again about the middle school LS16, LS17, and LS18, and what we did with those, just to make sure that.
Am I on the survey?
middle school?
Do I find those on the survey or am I looking at
Did you
this?
say middle school?
Yeah.
Well, you can look on the survey.
Oh,
making sure that nothing was missing or anything either.
Part of the problem with
So-
comparing the spreadsheet is I went back, I've kept to the old numbering, not your new numbering,
Yeah.
but the old numbering, because that's where we started, and so we can trace what we've been
And the new
doing.
numbering
Right.
is totally, we have not discussed that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't done anything with new numbering. I'm going by the same numbers as NGSS. That's what, I'm doing a direct comparison. That's why I was like, I just wanted to make sure that,
I know why we have an LS 1-6, is because we split something into two. We split
No,
LS
1-3.
1-3 into
That's
two.
okay,
And so that's just to keep with that
okay.
piece of it, but that's not the old 1-6.
Okay.
It was new.
Alright, well, that was just my own clarification again, making sure that we're not missing anything.
No, absolutely nothing wrong with asking and.
I want to see if you guys have the same thing, as far as what we still, we talked about which standards we still need to go over. Then we need to go through, double check our core ideas and make sure they still line up with what we have now.
The core ideas is science and engineering practices and the cross-cutting concepts. All three of those are going to need to be double checked.
Okay, and then to determine our arrangement and numbering system we're gonna use.
We can always do that, but I would tell you something that maybe I would do prior to the numbering. The numbering can be done at any time.
Right, I just have it on the list.
Because I was thinking about this, was going through and just kind of trying to do tally marks or something along the lines of, okay, we use this practice this many times, this, cross-cutting concept this many times. Not that it's gonna be key to get it,
At least you get them all in there somewhere.
yeah,
And
that
it's-
maybe we might have some fine tuning to do,
And we're versed in it.
Yeah,
And there
people
may be
ask me
some of
about
them
it.
that we've used, it's like, man, we've done that one over and over and over again, we could cut something out.
Well,
Or change it to a different one.
Yeah,
Or
change it
reword
to a different practice or something. The
Right.
concepts are, I think the concepts that we have in here, we should keep solid. But, instead of design a graph, maybe we, ask questions
Well,
or
there
do
are
something a little bit
I've
different with
noticed
it.
that some of them, it'll have like this group of core ideas, and then there's a standard that goes with it, and then the standard that follows uses the exact same core idea, it just incorporates an engineering aspect to it.
Exactly, and
Sounds good.
that's the stuff that we
Yeah.
can tweak is the cross-cutting concepts and the practices. I don't think we need to change any of the concepts just because.
Just start mentioning stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've kind of got that all pretty well solid, and we've sent it out concept-wise to get some sort of agreement. Now, do the concepts need to be looked at to make certain they match? Yes. But I'm saying just the practices and other stuff to try and have a somewhat balanced document. I don't know if it's possible to have a completely
Well,
balanced document.
I don't think theirs is probably either.
No, it's not.
So, this is what it is.
I wanted to let you guys know I just got an email, you guys probably, I think she sent it to everybody, that Catherine is not going to be with us again, she has been in this. So I'm gonna send our condolences.
So I would add that to the list.
So determine, let's see, review core ideas and, cross-cutting. Yes.
We still have,
Well, those are the ones that aren't here.
Well,
Hold on.
Frank's not gonna be here.
Frank's not here at all.
okay,
The whole weekend.
Patricia
He's
said,
stuck in Bermuda. If you read his email.
Yeah,
It's not like he's not gonna do it Sundays. I think he thought we were gonna and he said he could let us know on Monday if he could make it Friday.
that was,
I'm really
Yeah.
confused by all
I
his
think he's
emails.
wrong.
Jack is the one who said he could let us know Monday.
Oh, that's what said Monday.
And I was going,
After the fact? Yeah, I'm not confused. Maybe he's got the wrong weekend?
that's what I thought.
alright, so I have, Patricia's gonna be here tomorrow, she just emailed me only Saturday. I will be here all day tomorrow, Shelley will be here all day tomorrow, Debbie all day tomorrow, Susan, Danielle had emailed me, I don't know what happened to her today, she emailed me like this morning, saying all of a sudden, she will be here tomorrow.
She will be.
Yes, Dennis will be here tomorrow, and Annette will be here tomorrow. I have not heard anything from Troy, but he had said that he was gonna be out there on the doodle. But even without Troy, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tomorrow.
So go ahead and show up. Because if we don't, we can look today and skip tomorrow and cancel our hotel room and go home. Yeah, but we don't know.
But no,
We
we
won't know if
have-
they show up in the morning or not.
Patricia and Danielle said, that's, as of this morning, I
Yeah,
mean,
okay,
that's
so-
so.
Well, then I only had three other things on this list, and one was to look at the survey results and see if we want to finalize any wording changes based on the survey, if there's anything. An introductory page of some sort to accompany our standards, and a presentation, PowerPoint, whatever that we're gonna do to present to Desi, our staff. Is there anything else that,
Yeah, let's do, I don't know.
I had gotten, email from Clara that there's, the education commission, I gotta look it up. Anyway, we have, one of those updates that we've been doing. We have an update that we have to have turned in by August 1st. So, can you put that together?
Send them the audio file from our defunct tape.
I'm not touching that. Anyway, so we have to get that together too, which I was gonna get that typed up and then we can just read it over, cause it's just like the other ones that we've done. One or two questions that are just a little bit different, but it's nothing like what percentage are we done, so, anyway, we have to get that approved so that we can send it out, because the deadline's August 1st. So.
We'll do that tomorrow before we leave.
Okay. All right, well, do we want to start going through the high school, the things that have already been voted on, since we don't have to vote on them? Do we want to go through the high school survey and start doing that, or do we want to start putting
Making a
together?
survey, looking at results of the survey. Where are we?
And we're just on the making.
On the making.
So we can send this out in August.
Okay.
We can either, we can do one of two things, we can either start charging on with the standards that we have not gone over yet, and then tomorrow just start voting like crazy. Or and then do the survey, or we can do the survey first, and then,
I would take care of all the things that I would take care of, like, a couple of people go through the survey and find problems. A couple of people open up the middle school document, and if you open it in Google Docs, I gave everybody commenting rights, and I can always change that. I just figured it's easier to have like one or two typists and that's it. So if you have areas where you go, this needs to be changed, you can just highlight, you can say, here, this needs to be changed, I think, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then that way, we have all this stuff that we've done that doesn't need to be voted on until later, right? And then tomorrow, just line it up to do the votes, because we can discuss, but then tomorrow people are gonna go, but, you
Well,
know.
I wouldn't hear any, let's see where I'm at for mine.
Right.
well, like the high school physical science, there really isn't anything controversial in it. Your small group has already gone through it once, and I know, and that wasn't that kind of your,
No,
that was easy.
No, that's still your purview to do.
Who was that?
I'll work on
Do
it.
it.
Yeah, but, just
Katie.
direct me back
Oh,
where
it's
it is.
Katie. Oh, okay. And she's not gonna be there for weekend meetings.
right, it's in there now.
I was thinking if we went through it, then they'd be like, okay, we've gone through it, anybody have a problem with them? Otherwise, can we just vote and take them?
I'm trying to think, is that,
We have to, what is that called? The, consent agenda.
Consent agenda.
There you go. I don't think we operate with that, but yeah. It'd be
no,
nice.
it was because she talked,
Okay, well, I knew one of you that came on there about that same time, you two came on, I think, the same time. But I knew somebody, that was their area, and they were hoping that we hadn't done that yet, so that was, but I was thinking it was you.
No,
It was Katie.
I'm earth science, so it's just physical science.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well. Find
So
your,
we're looking at the survey other than looking to make sure, because it's, all you did was take what we finalized, right, and put it on the survey?
The big things are, yes.
So what do we need to look at?
You just need a functionality, like icons
Sure,
and stuff,
work.
like go in, go back, click a new one, make certain all that works, right? Because that was our issue last time.
And you can type things in and they should take.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and the other part of it is just you know, typos,
Okay.
looking through and making certain things
I was
like
gonna say, I had already.
engineering standards.
Yeah.
You still have that as an option, you don't have it in there, you know, that type of stuff. Find the things that I've screwed up on. So, the typos.
And
Because I'll be
then-
honest, you all got like, okay, I'm going to focus now and get this done, because I'm gonna be doing other stuff.
How do I want you in the next week?
And so you said a couple people do that, and then.
A couple of people, you guys can open up like the standards that we've approved so far, that document that I sent, and go
Yeah, that's
through
what
and
I'm
start, like we talked about, making certain that the numbering still works. The bottom stuff is still coded to the top stuff.
Oh, okay, the core
Google
ideas.
Docs, like you said.
Well, any of it, all three.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I started making notes on core idea lining up to the.
Yes,
Oh, so you
well,
said it's a middle school and a high school one?
yes,
I
and the
know.
high school one is just straight copied from NGSS, so that one still needs work. I was just slapping things in there to get it done and figuring I'll fix it later, because so much of the high school we haven't done yet.
Well, one thing that I found when I went through and I looked at that 3-column spreadsheet because that put the core ideas that went with that standard beside each other. One thing that I noticed is sometimes information that was in our clarification statements it was almost redundant with what was in the core. I mean, it was almost like repeated twice, or sometimes, and not in a lot, but there were a few that I'm like, you know what, some of that information that we have in the clarification statement really almost could be listed as a core idea, because like some places where we explain, well, the 4 types of proteins are this and this and this and this, well, that really could be a core idea that wouldn't necessarily need to be in the clarification statement if we had it there. So, you know, I mean, we need it, it needs to be there, but I'm just, as I looked at it, there were just a few places that I'm like, you know, that's really almost what you would teach to get to that.
Yeah, I agree with you, I do, and the only thing I'm thinking about right now in my brain is the fact that nobody reads anymore. And we know this because we gave them all a survey and they didn't read on that too. So, we could put everything down there, but then, well, we can't guard against
So some of the
everything. Never mind.
comments were, you know, the clarification statements were so long and.
Exactly,
And
yes.
everything, and so I'm like, well, if some of that were put into the, you know, and if that wasn't on all of them, but there were just a few places that I noticed that it's like, wow, we could, you know, take half that out and make it.
And just add it. Okay. Here's the thing that I would say we'd have to check on. I think we could add whatever we choose to add. But I know the NGSS document, while copyrighted, still can be done with whatever, because that's part of that copyright. I have not a clue about the frameworks, copyright, and the disciplinary core idea is from the frameworks, direct. So, while I think it's under the same type of copyright that, you know, will allow us to fiddle with it as much as we choose, because it was taxpayer dollar anyway that went to this, I think. But anyway,
Private company.
So you're saying because right now, that is labeled as being frameworks material, that if we add stuff to that, we could be.
well, maybe not add stuff directly to it, but we could just make a new one. You see what I'm saying? Whatever the coding is on it. I'll find one here eventually. Whatever the coding is on it, you know, we can just, like we did before, you know, we made a new MSLS we took 1-3 and made 1-3 and 1-4 out of it. So we leave theirs the same, but we can just add our own in there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because then we're not doing anything except just making more. Where there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But like I said, we just have to look at it. While we have time to work, we're gonna look up a copyright and see if it looks the same or what.
But I think that's something that's gonna be more involved than maybe just a couple people going through looking at it.
pulling those.
Well, about comparing the standard and the core ideas together. I mean, I made it through middle school. I've got one page here of comments about middle school, and I started high school life science.
Well, give one as an example and let me open up. I've got your spreadsheet open up, so.
Okay. Let's see.
Hang on. He said something that just, look, if we're doing these and these, the Common Core is copyrighted.
It's all been already looked at by lawyers for the government, and we have a sheet of paper that was given to us.
And none of ours is come to court, so we don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. Because we're not even bothering with that bottom stuff.
English and math is the, are the two.
Yeah. It's already,
They've already covered it.
Okay.
that was covered in prior to you.
Okay, good.
Way back at the beginning when there was.
Well,
Yeah.
and, and I wasn't here, so it was like, that just popped in my mind, I was like, ooh, those are copyrighted.
No.
Because,
No.
Our
Everybody
is
has lawyers
with
looking at it.
NGSS, to make sure that, NGSS, to make sure that that would be our entity, that we would have to make sure we were okay with using stuff.
So they got 11.
The school of understanding.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes,
We
we've already, the copyright on anything was already looked at in order for, and I say that, it's by all the lawyers. We remember that sheet of paper we got?
Well, I know, but when you start, if the numbers that correspond, like, LS 1-3, and that, and basically change a few words. But
Yeah.
The whole concept, and say, well, you copyrighted off of ours.
That's taken care of within
They did it in life science and high school.
the type of copyright that they have on it allows for this. It's like a public domain. Copyright is no longer the same rules as it was when we grew up, because you change a few words and you're in trouble. So they have since added other sections, other possibilities, other whatever you want. Because like I can write a computer program and I can copyright it but put it out as a public domain, meaning everybody can use it, they just know it's mine. They can tinker with it all they want, but the basis code is mine. And that's all it says, because I can freely give it.
So when the legislature's here, so we're basically doing, next generation science standard, and they're they were part of the Common Core, they're probably gonna, so we don't want that.
They're separate from the Common Core. They were cross-referenced with the Common Core. That bottom piece that we talked about, if you open up the Next Gen website and you open up any of the stuff, there's a cross-referencing to Common Core, and that's it. And all that means is when I'm telling kids to construct an argument, well, in the Common Core, in the ELA standards, there was construct an argument. And so all it's saying is hey, if you can work to help teachers, show teachers that, hey, the English teacher and you can work together on this. Does that make sense? Because it's still constructing an argument.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the schools don't. We used to be able to.
Well, we do it
Our
our
school
side.
our cores used to work together on our teams to make sure that, like, when I was doing metric, math was doing metric, and when we were doing science fair, they were doing note taking and, and all kinds of stuff, and they don't let, and I'm sure you guys as teachers are going through this too, that, we have a curriculum math, they even gave us a pacing chart, threw it in the trash, and I told us, and I go, so write me up. And I go, but, because if they're not learning, what's the point? And then he's like, okay. And I mean, for years, I never got through the curriculum because I
No, you
was
can't.
doing
Do a
all
good
this
job.
stuff.
Yeah.
But now we have to, because we have to give those we only have an open thing.
Shelley,
You don't know
can you give
how
an
to-
example of one of the things you're talking about? Just
Okay,
pick one.
in life science, middle school life science, that was an area that I saw several places. Just look at the very first one, 1-1.
Okay,
Okay, look at the clarification statement. It says, emphasis on developing evidence that living things are made of cells. Look at the core ideas. All living things are made up of cells. Okay, then, distinguishing between, go to the end, and understanding that living things may be made of one cell or many and varied cells. Okay, then look at the core idea. Maybe one cell or many different numbers and types. See how it's repeating?
okay, so what your notes are is the fact that the level of repeats to the point where maybe we can just go through and pull out clarification statements and just,
Yeah.
And they're just the core ideas.
and it's just the core ideas.
Instead of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, there
clarification
appears to
statements
be a lot of redundancy that when you
Between
look at
the two. Yeah.
what we have is good and necessary, but it's already in the core ideas in places, and so do we,
Does the core ideas go up for acceptance and review? Is that something we're sticking in there, or is it just the standards are going in? For review, for
we give them the whole thing, if
And we say, well, we're gonna give them that document that I shared with you,
I
we're
think
gonna give
that-
them, we're gonna give them that, and we're gonna say, here is our suggestion for what our standards should look like for science. And they'll either go, yes,
and so that's
you
what I'm
know,
saying, it's
give them
not,
blessing, or they'll go,
On the whole thing, the core ideas and the, so we're looking at just the
Yeah.
standards.
so
No,
that's
we'll
what I'm
give them-
saying, I noticed a lot of places that there appears to be redundancy. That, instead of having this big old long standard, if half of it is just repeating what's already in the core idea, can we simplify the look at the standard because the information is already in the core idea?
that would be something that I would say, I don't have anything against, is that we could vote on and decide. I mean, that's easy enough, that's a delete job, I can delete.
But that was kind of an example.
Of
There's
all
some
the
other
stuff.
things, but the most prevalent thing I saw was that type of thing.
So why don't we hold on to that piece of it and just be looking to see if it makes sense? Like we talked about, that the LS1-2 matches up with LS1-2, LS1-3 matches up with LS1.
I have a few notes on those types of things too.
And if you can open up that document and all you, like I said, all you do is highlight and you tell us a comment and you type in,
This is your document.
yeah.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
some of them may take discussion because we may not be completed in
You're just adding your comment. The reason why I like when you add your comment to it, okay, I can go in as later, or whoever wants to type later can go in and look at it, and if we can hit a reply later and say agreed, and then I can fix it and then hit resolve. So that kind of gives us a paper trail of making certain whatever we agree to gets fixed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that kind of keeps it a little cleaner.
I'm just saying there are some that have been a part of the discussion.
So,
What we're here for.
just a quick question, for user friendliness, which would you like, when you're looking at a standard, do you prefer to have, the teachers in general seem to prefer to have like a clarification statement right there, or would they rather look in a column? Because I think that's kind of why, I totally agree with you, like if there's like redundancy and stuff, I don't think it should be there, but I wanna also make sure that our document is as user-friendly as possible, because are we gonna have teachers who go and they look at the standard, oh, I know how to
Where
do
you've
that.
got it next to each other like that, is that what you're saying?
Well,
Well,
just
core
like, no,
ideas, yeah.
look down the chart down below.
Core ideas and clarification statements can be they're for two different purposes. Clarification statements is trying to put a parameter on how far do you go
Right.
with the standard, how deep you're supposed to go, that's gonna be testable. Core ideas are the main subjects what we're used to, like, if you will,
Concept.
the concept, chapters, or something we're used to looking at. But, so they have kind of two different purposes. The teachers will look at the core ideas and go, this isn't the curriculum, here, what I already teach, or what our book does, or that. The clarification statements, I think would be, for the people making up the state test, hey, we don't go beyond this, because when we got to some of the deeper ideas, like protein synthesis, or different things like that, how far are they supposed to go with this?
Well, that's kind of assessment now.
Yeah, and actually, the clarification statements kind of are, I think.
Well, we
In
have
some
one
aspects, there's both on this document, and in some aspects, you're absolutely right. Okay, in today's world, I have to open up 5 different books to get a complete picture of what I'm teaching, okay? and it's a pain in the run. I've always liked this document better because on one page, and I say one page, mine takes up more than one page.
Yeah, but I mean, it's in one place. It's in one.
It's in one place that I open up and I go, oh, I'm doing this, and I read it and I go, oh, I don't, and then I can go down to those columns and it's all right there for me.
Oh,
And if I still need help, then, you know, I go down the hall and I start talking to people.
Is it easier to go down below to find it, or is it easier to be able to go right next to it and have it lined up beside it?
I like it below.
yeah, because but it's still
That's
one
what
page.
keeps me focused, because now that I understand what I'm doing a little more, I'm able to spend my time in the performance expectations. They're all right there.
And if it's semi-aligned with the actual NGSS at the national level, if you go to their website, they've got a website where you can like click on one performance standard, and it highlights for you those things in the bottom columns particular to that one, so teachers can look and know,
Yeah.
this is the cross-cutting concept that matches this particular one, and I don't think the state's gonna make something like that, because it's gonna be, you know, it's already there, and the bars are close enough, teachers can just go click there and get an idea, and not have to read all of them, it's highlighted for them, and if we can make this look similar to what they're gonna go to the website and see, it'll be easier for the teachers to use. If that makes sense.
Still use the, basically, even though ours isn't even gonna quite NGSS, still use.
No, but it's close
NGSS as a
enough, it's
reference.
close enough that at least it can use that as a good reference, and it's gonna appear the same, because when you start looking at all these different formats of the same information, what's this one, it takes a lot more time to weed through it, to figure it out.
Well, I guess
And
my,
theirs is very user-friendly. in
When
terms of
people
that.
ask me, because yes, ours isn't quite NGSS, but it is because we kept it three-dimensional like it is. And they go, I said, ours is about 75% the same.
And then tweaking.
I said, and then in that last 25%, I said, most of it is just we changed what the practice was, or cross-cutting concept. We kept
Or we
changing
moved it
concept.
to a different
Or
grade
we
level.
moved it. You know, we went like this to a few, and
Combined
you know, the
performance.
ones that people go, wow, what did you cut? And I tell them, they go, oh yeah.
That's good, yeah, I'm glad you cut that.
We have not cut, I mean, I was looking, in middle school, we only cut two
Yeah.
standard, it's not like we went through and just.
And like I said, when I tell people that, you know, and tell them what we cut, they go, oh, I can, yeah, I can.
And by doing that, putting the NGSS site at the national level, does not necessarily, I mean, it's not nationally mandated, nothing like that, but at least there's tools there for us that have been created
More of a
by
resource.
a resource. And they've got like example lessons that can go with each standard, so teachers don't have to go from scratch. They don't have, it's a one big thing. So they're gonna go find others. Teachers Google all the time when they're trying to find a new lab or a new activity or
They also have
assessment
like
questions.
stepping stones to help other teachers to get to the performance expectation, because it's not like I'm gonna walk in and say, okay, kids, today we're gonna provide evidence that organisms, unicellular and multicellular, are made of single cells or lots of cells with specialized jobs. I've got lots of teaching to do to get there, and they have
Especially
stepping
teachers.
stones to help us.
And
Well,
talked before.
one thing that I have been kind of torn on, and since you guys use it, you're gonna know better, that I've kind of been torn between, one, if our arrangement and numbering stays pretty much like NGSS, it would help them to be able to use those tools.
I think I'll get a number said I should have given
But-
wording that matches, yeah.
But on the other hand, it might be, you know, because we did change some things, I don't want them to think, oh, this is the same as NGSS, so
We
just,
could
you
put,
know,
we could put a qualifier in there. Couldn't we?
Well, I'm certain they'll probably mark something on there that says, you know,
Yeah.
Or the other
mark
thing is
it.
if we came up with something totally different, would be at the end of the statement to put, you know, the coordinating NGSS.
Standard, if they wanna go find it, we want one most similar to it, if they wanna go find it. That could help, or if we do
But
a
bottom
number
line-
system that's totally different from there, I mean, how we number.
Don't you think they'll rename all this?
Oh, I think, yeah, they'll do whatever they wanna do with it.
I'll be honest, I think that once they have all of the documents from all the different groups, they'll probably end up taking the information and they'll number them different, they might.
And they'll do a state name, they'll do
a
their
state-
thing.
They'll make it ours.
So if we can put in there what the NGSS standard correlates to the closest, then whatever they do at the top or their own numbering system, whatever, that's embedded in there, then the teachers will help them get to the website.
Yeah.
Because, you know, certain health teachers, they don't have curriculum
Well,
built
just,
up.
you know,
they
I
don't-
look at like where we split certain ones,
Mhm.
that's gonna cause the numbering
Sure.
to vary.
Sure.
And so,
That's fine.
you know, I don't want people to say, oh, here's NGSS's LS 1-3, and line that up with
And it
the
doesn't
new one,
match.
and it doesn't
Then
match, you know.
then you think the old documents a mess, yeah.
confusion.
And I guess that's why I was
And
bringing up
so-
about pulling stuff out of the clarification statement and asking them of, you know, do we need to have it up there, or can we have it in little places? Because I
I like
don't
it.
wanna end up having where we're missing something because we are trying to remove duplications, and I totally understand why, you know.
But that was two different purposes, those two spots.
I like having clarification statements in the document, but like I said, I understand it now to the point where I spend most of my time in the performance expectation area and don't bother in the bottom, because I know the bottom, and
But the
I've
others
got the
don't.
bottom under control. But new people
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And order, and those that, you know,
But I
those
can
that
also
need it
go without
will
it.
go there, but those that don't need it, they just won't even look at it. Those that need it, it might actually help them to see it in two different places possible. I don't think it'll look, do bad.
No, I think some people need that, because, like, some teachers will follow this, and that never look down here, and some teachers will look down here,
Oh,
and
and I
never
get
look
that,
up here.
I got to see, you said that to my hot dog.
One thing I would like to
Give
do
me
that
something,
I
that's not a
don't
Google
want
address,
to,
right?
this is the way that another grade is.
I know, but the thing is there a way to get into it to my Hotmail address?
Letter or
Google
something,
account,
which
which I
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I still have the school's Google account, that's what the Google
Oh,
account I have. But I don't know how to get,
Yeah.
You know,
Would you like
I
to
like
Well,
to
and I'll
share
just tell you,
just share
my
it to
school
my,
district
yeah.
find the
takes
Google
this
Drive I
document,
have, because now I have two.
takes a middle school document, and they go,
Or
okay,
you can teach me how to get there from my Hotmail
sixth grade
address.
teaches this, seventh grade teaches this, eighth grade teaches
But
this,
call me
and
about
they
it,
take
yes, I
all of
will.
these, they split them out, and they go, this part yours, this part yours, this part yours.
Can I can send you a request
And
to
it's our
access,
job
so that make it
to get
easier?
them out of here.
okay.
Should I?
And,
You can, you can do that.
If
Well,
we're
that's
sitting in a
easier for
committee
you.
discussing it to say, okay, then I need to make sure I get E, F, and G, you know, as the third.
no, I
fourth,
agree,
fifth
just the
bullet.
bullets, yeah, needs to be
That
more,
was the middle school one, good enough.
and not numbers, letters.
Letters, I think would be good. Just a small letter, A, B, C, D, E, F, or something like that.
Yes.
One of the reasons there's been so much kickback on this Common Core is because you're teaching, the national, next generation science standard was a curriculum for the whole nation. And so, what happens is, instead of the states doing the work, somebody got hired and they did this, and, they set it up halfway reasonable, and then they've got you guys on board, they've got you trained for 3 years. You've been using this stuff for 3 years.
Yeah, thereabouts. At
We
least
have
two.
it.
And
Not everybody, I'm an
No,
unusual
it's
girl.
just, it hasn't been out there for
No.
3 years. The framework
But you
started.
understand it, and you.
I do, but most of the teachers in the state have not even looked at it.
Okay, but the district that I came out of, they weren't couldn't do anything new, they just gonna keep doing what they're doing until basically they get forced to change,
Because it's
because.
easier that way.
Yeah, and so what's gonna happen is, this is gonna, we spent a lot of time and money trying to develop our own standards, and eventually, if we use too much of this, well, we had these meetings, and you took a year to produce all this stuff, and it's so similar to the next generation science standards. Well, why don't we just adopt the next generation science standard and get it all?
Well, once the work's already been done, I don't know if they'll do that, because, the state will look good by saying, hey, it's modeled after, but we did put our own state spin on it, if
And
you will.
especially if
And
our
that
version
will,
is an improvement.
and that'll garner, support for it, because, hey, we didn't just blank check it off, we took it, we have looked at it, we have studied it, but then, to be honest, most teachers in the state cannot look at pinches just yet, because they're so busy doing what they gotta be doing, and they're still on what has been required
There's a reason
up
why.
to this point.
Right.
They don't look at it till they have to. And so we're well versed because we've been working on it, and I've been going to National Science Teacher Conference for the last 3 years, and every time I go, 3 or 4 times a year, I go to sessions on this, so I know where we
You're
are.
well trained in this, and then you gotta really explain. I think it's hard to read myself, so.
If you look at some of the other things we've dealt with in the past, this is easy compared to
Oh,
what
yeah.
we've read.
It is.
This is, I
Yeah.
mean, they make it so hard,
And
they
another
do.
thing too is, this is biology is the
I'm not
only thing
right,
that's
one
tested.
small thing.
It's supposed to
It's
do it
not a
on the
curriculum
rest of it,
document,
and
it's an
like-
assessment
And
document.
so many changes.
That right there is an assessment document. That
So
tells
they
you
write
how,
a test.
that tells you how to assess the kids.
What the system over.
Yeah, what the system.
And how
But
to.
it is, it's far from a curriculum document as you
Oh,
can get.
yeah, teachers are,
So-
Because it doesn't tell me how I'm supposed to teach, it just tells me,
what activities, whatever, it's just the main concepts, what are the
Yeah.
main concepts you have to teach that tells you nothing
And what
about
skills
what
go with
teaching
it.
strategies, actually even what details. Because you can teach, ecosystems all kinds of ways. You can teach basic types of energy all kinds of ways. And it's not telling you that, as long as you get the main concept at the end, the freedom is there to teach it however you want. Versus computer stuff, lecture, what activity, this activity, what examples do you use, what videos do you show, what hands-on stuff do you do, none of
because
that
the bottom
is
line
there.
is just because it worked 1 year. doesn't mean it
Oh, we
works
change it
next.
up all the time, and we get new stuff.
Well, once you got, or your cross-cutting techniques is where you kind of combine it and put it into practical, you put it, okay.
And that gets
And
kids
so
out of the
what,
book.
what they're doing is, they're gonna supply you with all these things to do in the classroom.
They're gonna give,
Examples. of-
they're gonna give you a place, they're gonna give you a resource that if you don't, like,
You don't-
teachers have been teaching, 25 years, 20 years, they're gonna look at that and go, oh, I know what this concept is, I know what this
Yeah,
is.
that's-
This is the kind of things that what the kids be able to do with it, like either make a graph, or do this, or do that. I've already got something in my repertoire to use that. They might look at, because teachers get bored doing the same thing year after year too, especially if they teach, nothing but biology, and they're doing it multiple times a day. They'll go out there and look, I'm tired of this, the kids aren't, because they haven't seen it before. I'm tired, I'm gonna go find something new. I'm gonna go find something new, and do that. It's the teachers who haven't built that up yet that will go there to look. It's gonna be resources that we can get anywhere else out there in it too. One thing is this is vetted by hopefully professionals, and and you can find like all the sciences in one place, because a lot of times biology teachers have their favorite websites to go to. Sometimes, and then chemistry teachers have their favorite websites to go to. This at least is a start, and we still have the small schools where teachers have to teach everything. I've taught everything for 6 years, and so I can find all the subjects in one place to help me look. That's saving me a lot of time as opposed to sorting out, well, here's my 7th grade life science, well, here's my high school chemistry, well, here's my.
Well, but see, when you get into climate change, I mean, they're gonna, if that's the big push, which I think it is, there's a lot of stuff in climate change, and then we got just the evolution of the age, those things would be the main component of it. It's not about learning other things. I mean, it's, you're putting a lot of climate change and evolution together, and, you're trying to make everything kind of fit. So,
You say evolution's not a major theme or cross-cutting
Well-
concept. It's not one of those main, if you look at the bottoms, it's not one of the major practices or one of the cross-cutting concepts. Cross-cutting concepts are things like scale, classification, things like that. It's not one of the overarching things.
well, it's where the disagreements are. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
were you here last?
not last
No.
time.
Okay,
it's
we had a
before.
big discussion on, some of the evolutionary concepts. And, one of my suggestions was is that you define evolution. There's micro and macro
Yeah.
evolution. Just define the concept, just define what we all believe is micro
Yeah,
evolution.
but you have to remember though, a lot of times in science, remember, and we talked about this, that when we're talking about, evolution, we're talking about animals, plants, whatever, adapting to their environment.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're not
That's
talking
another thing that I
about
had to put down in our cover sheet. is-
and,
And that's not, and I mean, there's never, ever been a state test question on a science test that had anything to do with humans and
No.
evolution.
Evolving from-
No, and
Never, ever.
ever. And I've been on for 31 years, I saw a lot of state tests over those years,
Oh.
different variations, never, ever. And at most, there'd be one on natural selection, and it'd be that bird be conceived kind of thing, or it'd be those pepper moss and the tree bark. The classic ones have been in the biology books since I was gone, and they haven't changed that up. They've changed other things in the biology books as we've advanced, knowledge and everything else, and we've actually added kingdoms, because we just understand better that everything's not just plants and animals. There are fungus, and there's things like that didn't really fit the way we were
And
classifying.
bacteria.
And bacteria, and there's argument now, is should there be 6 kingdoms? I think there might be 6 now, but should it be 7 kingdoms? Because all those microbes, they're kind of hard to put somewhere. I don't understand this well as we plants and animals after all these years. But nowhere ever. And you're saying, like, the biology test might be like 40 questions over everything the kids have done all year. There's never been the word evolution in any of the
Because
questions.
believe me, I would have heard about it in my school. I would have heard about it.
It's not in there, and I don't even know if the word natural selection maybe's been in there sometimes, but it's more about adaptations to the
Yeah,
environment.
maybe
Like which one, here's a classic example of what I did as an activity for my kids on this idea of natural selection, and we didn't talk about that. My biology kids love this activity. They have to pick an ecosystem: grassland, tropical rainforest, desert, pivot or something, and they have to write out what's the average
It says
temperature
it's
range, what kind of
videoing,
moisture do they
but it's
have.
not audio, and it says that you need to go in and set the audio setting.
And
That's all
so,
it
and,
says.
and so all that kind of thing, the kids had to write down all this stuff.
So
And then
apparently
they
it's,
design-
we're getting out there, we're being seen but not
It didn't have
heard.
to be anything real. They can combine traits from different animals, like to have them help get their good food source. The kids can get really creative.
To do that.
Yeah, to get